Hey, good morning, good day and good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Model 3 UK. My name is Scott. Thanks again for tuning into another one of my videos. So before we begin the video, apparently a massive 74% of you that watch my videos are not subscribed to the channel. So to keep up to date with future videos and giveaways, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you like the video, drop me a like. If you don't. So in today's video, I want to talk about some news I read yesterday. Apparently Elon is going to be putting the price of the full self-drive feature up by $1,000 which equates to around about £820. Now I wouldn't take that as gospel. From going from previous experience and history, if we take a look at the Model 3 performance, for example, in the US, it's about, I've got the notes here actually, I've been looking at this online today, it's about 50,000 for a Model 3 performance. That's in US dollars. In pounds though, it's 56k. Now if you were to take the US dollars and go, oh, let's translate that into Great British pounds, that works out something like 42, 44, something like that. So obviously it's actually costing more though to have the car in the UK, so you can't do a direct translation. Now I know there's import taxes before you start screaming at the screen. I know there's import taxes and there's shipping fees and stuff like that. So let's look at the premium connectivity then. It's about 10 US dollars for the premium connectivity, and it's 10 Great British pounds over here. So again, there's no sort of like translation from US dollars to Great British pounds. It's kind of whatever Tesla want it to be. So yeah, is it going to be £1,000 increase for the full self-drive? It could well be. It could be 820, but I wouldn't, hit your bedgers on it being 820. It could quite well easily be a £1,000 increase. And by the way, I apologise if I'm squinting. The light is coming in. It's kind of bouncing off the white on my dash and the centre console and reflecting it in my eyes. It's quite glaring at the minute because we've got quite a nice sunny day today. 26 degrees according to the car, in fact, outside. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. So yeah, it may not necessarily go up in price by £820. It may go up by 1,000, which will bring the cost up by quite a lot. Elon reckons it's going to be worth around 100,000 US dollars by the time obviously its features are complete, which he reckons the car is capable of doing now. I mean, obviously you're never going to pay 100,000 for it, because what you're going to pay, like, £60,000 car and £100,000 for the full self-driving feature. I just can't see that happening. But obviously the cost will go up substantially as the car becomes more capable. I think we're going to hit a point where either it will work to the degree that we hope it to, or Elon claims it will, and it'll be absolutely amazing, and the cost will be quite high. I mean, I could easily imagine you're paying like 25,000 for this feature easily when it's feature complete, or it won't be as good. It'll be sort of a little bit better than what we've got now. There'll be certain things it can and can't do. I am worried about it in the UK, because the UK roads are far more complex than roads in the US. I love driving in the USA because the roads are so much easier to drive on. They're just straightforward. There's not many bends, there's not many complicated bits. It's just, I just find it so easy to drive out there compared to here. You drive around London, for example, it's hell. It's horrible, and the roads don't make sense, and there's sudden things that catch even a human off guard. So a computer, that's a long way off from getting to the point where you could literally leave your car to do the driving around, the city of London. I couldn't imagine. It's too much going on at the minute. It's a long way off. However, that said, I'm not surprised that the price is going up, because I have seen substantial improvements. I got my car at the end of September last year, 2019, and I've seen substantial improvements to the full self-driving features. I've noticed the car getting better on the roads. Areas where it would do strange things, it stopped doing. However, that said, it still sometimes gets confused with like the parking facility feature. Like I'll be driving into a space and it'll suddenly say, I could do this if you like, I could finish it off, and I'm kind of like, okay, but you've just shown me where the space is at an angle to what I'm at, which is not the case at all. You're gonna screw this up if I let you do this. So I just don't bother with it. I don't use many features of the full self-drive at the moment. I use it on the motorway because it's fantastic for that. A roads, B roads, yes, sometimes if there's not many roundabouts, because I know it can't do that. But the parking feature I don't really use at all. Summon at the moment, I don't really use that at all either. I haven't had a situation where I really needed to use it to put the car into a space or bring it out. As I say, I'm not 100% trusting of it, and it definitely can't park itself by just going, oh, there's a space over there, off you go. It will just throw the car in any old way. If you use the smart summon, it won't get it in between the lines. It can't seem to read it yet, but I mean, it's got the traffic lights recently improvement. That's pretty cool. So yeah, it is gaining momentum. It is getting better and better, and there are new features coming out all the time. So I suppose, do I think it's worth it? Well, I'm kind of looking at this at the moment as it's a crowd-funded project, because some people go, no, full self-drive, no point in it, it's rubbish, it doesn't work very well, it's a gimmick, and yeah, you're right, I completely agree with you. It's not feature complete yet. Is it worth the money? Not really. You get a few gimmicks and a few laughs, and you can show off to your mates and stuff, and that's great, but beyond that, it hasn't really got much of a use for me at the moment. Motorway driving, yes, I love it for that. I can just rest my hand on the bottom of the steering wheel, that keeps the car happy, and it does most of the work for me. That is fantastic, but beyond that, no. So the way I am looking is, I have bought full self-drive, and the reason behind it is I think of it as a crowdfunding project. Now, I play a game called Star Citizen, which is it's a multi-million-pound game now. It's all been crowdfunded, and you pledge money towards the game, and those that pledged earlier on could buy ships in the game, because it's like an open universe space sim. Those that pledged earlier on got the ships really cheap, but obviously the game was barely complete, and you know, it's still not complete, but it was barely anything, and yeah, you could barely do anything. A lot of the features that were promised were not in the game, so you know, you got ships cheap. But now, as the game has progressed along, the cost of those ships has gone up substantially, and once the ship is released in the game when you can actually play with it, the cost, physical money, has gone up substantially. So that's the way I'm looking at it with the full self-drive as well. I'm crowdfunding a project. I'm paying towards the development of this. So once it's released, full self-drive, I get it. It's the same with Star Citizen. Once that ship is released, I get it, because I paid for it earlier on when it was cheap. Now it's out, the cost has gone up. So that's the way I'm looking at it. So is it worth having full self-drive? Right, here is my honest opinion. If you are planning to get rid of the car, you're leasing it or whatever, and you're going to trade it in a few years' time, I would say no. Definitely not worth it at all. If you're going to sell it because it's privately owned and you think, oh, you only keep my car for sort of 3 to 4 or 5 years, then I'd say probably not again. Not worth it. If you're planning to keep the car for a longer period of time, say 5 years plus, I would say yes, because you're paying for it now while it's cheap, and then when it comes out feature complete, assuming it's going to be feature complete, you've got it already. You've paid for it, it's yours, and you haven't got to pay the, you know, the 15,000-25,000 pounds, whatever it's going to be, price tag at the end of it. You've paid for it while it was only like 4, 5, 6,000, and you've effectively crowdfunded the development of it. So yeah, if you're going to keep the car for a long period of time, I'd say yes, get it, because you know, once it's complete, you've got it. It's as simple as that, really. So what do you guys think? Do you think it's something that you are going to buy? Have you already bought it? Are you buying a Tesla and are definitely going to get it, but hoping to get the car before the price increase? Have you already got a Tesla but haven't had it and thinking, I'm going to upgrade, I think I'm going to upgrade before the price increase goes up? Or are you still going to say, no, it's not worth it, I'm not interested, not going to bother with it, it's not worth, you know, it's a gimmick? Or do you think it will never be complete? Do you think it will never work because of like certain hardware limitations on the car? For example, the cameras on the side that keep saying that there's something blocking them, and that I think is a software issue that can be corrected to a degree. But yes, if it's raining or the sun's shining straight into the camera can't see, and the screen pops up and says, you know, it can't see, and therefore it makes it useless. So it could never say turn right if it can't see. So yeah, that pretty much sums up my video. If you have enjoyed this, please drop me a like, subscribe, don't forget guys, I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to keep an eye out for upcoming giveaways. There is also the Facebook group Model 3 UK, which is run by myself. Go ahead and look at that and follow that one as well. And also don't forget that we are sponsored by Model 3 Parts. I have some discount codes available that they've given me for you guys, so if you are looking to purchase something from that. They've done some updates recently to their website as well. There were a lot of complaints about the fact it was all written in US dollars, even though they actually had a warehouse in Germany so they could ship to the EU, and it was confusing people, and people thought it was coming from the US. It was going to cost a fortune with shipping fees and other fees as well. Apologies, that's my phone, I didn't put it on silent. But yeah, they've corrected that now, so you can actually view everything in Great British pounds as well, which is great. So yeah, guys, you've been awesome. I thank you once again, and I will see you in the next one. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments below. I love reading them. I'll do my very best to answer them. Take care. Bye bye.